very nice. Fucking, it was under $20.
Yeah, Amazon.
Fucking Amazon, dude.
All right. We are officially live. We're going to play our intro music.
That's usually the order of operations.
And then we're going to pod.
My bad. It's Louis, right? Cat.
Louis.
Cat. That's the cat.
No cap from the captain.
No cap, Jack.
What's going on, soundboard? Why are we not opening?
I had to smoke a couple blunts before I got here. My head was hurting. I would have been no good in this interview with a migraine.
Ooh. That's never good.
Yeah. But as soon as I smoked, it went right away.
Really?
Yeah. I just think I didn't smoke today, so that's probably what it was.
You was looking for it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, let's get it.
First of all, we live.
Yeah. DMV, you know what time it is? None other than the BASSLINE podcast presented by the Everyday Weekend. I'm your host as always, Capo, feeling good, feeling great. To the left of me is none other than Fresh Rose Mitt. What's good, brother?
What's good? How you living?
I'm sensational. I got to see your hairdo from start to finish today.
Yes,
that was an amazing experience. I'm looking for the next trip to the Casa de Rhodes. I want you to get the beard braided up too. Like just straight from the down the sides and then one jump. And put beads on that too. No?
Anything? Any other requests?
That's it.
Okay, cool. I could talk to some people and see if we can.
I feel like it would be a protective style for your beard.
Protection. Yeah,
that's important.
Yeah,
Nice beard.
Thank you. I work hard for this, man. It wasn't good at first, but
really,
yeah.
Hey, a lot of cooch. And I'm
Carry on.
we back in our original formation to a certain extent. We got a guest here today, so I want to introduce him, the good man, Arcade Droyd.
Hey!
Y'all know what the fuck it is, man. I appreciate y'all having me, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate you being the first one back at the table with us, man.
I'd rather it be me. It shouldn't be nobody else.
Last but certainly not least, our producer, as always, Raza Ry, behind the camera, making it happen.
What's good, party people? What's good?
Captain Louis, how you? Oh, no, okay. He got his face on the table today. He's going crazy. He's like, I miss mommy. She's usually here.
Louis a G. I fuck with Louis.
All right, man. So look, we real quick public service announcement as I always do. Listen, at this point, I'm sure y'all sick of me. We'll be bringing the fucking stove out tomorrow, man. Like 24 hours from now, we bringing the stove out. So if you have not got your tickets, I hope that you might have your hand went to sleep or something. You couldn't tap the buttons. I'm hoping there's some sort of technical difficulties because I know at this point y'all understand the gravity of the situation, the history that is upon us.
The gravitas.
We got an animated stove in the studio. Niggas is trying really hard, okay? This is going to be a great fucking production. I'm telling you right now. With that being said, tickets are still available. OpenGym.us, Stove God, Cynical Minded, Two World Order, Slick Nerd Pro, Art 23, Born Supreme, and Welcome to D-Lo Life. We'll be on the stage alongside Stovey. But now that that's off the plate, let's get to it. So how are you, sir?
I'm great, man. I'm great. I'm alive. I'm kicking.
So I was listening to your most recent EP moments before you got here.
Oh, sweet.
And I first want to know, did the files get corrupted, or you just running from the smoke? Like, what's up? Like, why people, like, you had to put out a project to explain why they didn't get the project. That's different.
There's a lot of shit that happened. I had to get out my own way. You know what I mean? But
Okay.
to simplify it, I'm in my own way at the moment.
Okay.
So it's a lot of shit that was pushing it back. A lot of promises that were made that wasn't delivered on. So it's kind of like had to figure something out.
Okay.
Pivot. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Figure something else to do.
Okay. So in listening to the work, I noticed that like you speak from the heart tremendously in your projects, right? And it be feeling like from the music, like the music energy be up, but some of the themes of the music are really personal, emotionally based things, which is not what we're used to seeing from most of our artists are providing us with a facade of themselves.
Yeah.
And I feel like for you, like when I see you outside, you're a very like happy, smiling, good energy dude, but it feels like in the music, you're expressing the other side of that dynamic. So just talk to me about like, is like the music being, is it an escape or like what does music really do for you?
Sometimes that's what's kind of interesting. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like when I express it in my human form, it's never received. They only receive it when it's digestible, and that's probably through my music. And that's when I get all the phone calls and I get through people easier through songs than I communicate through my lyrics. So it's harder. So I tend to shut down now that I know no one listens when I'm going through something. So that way, I just save it off of my music and just put it into lyrics. And then people are like, okay, I see why you did that, or I see what was going on. Well, why didn't you tell nobody? I did try to tell you what was going on. So part of the reason why Good Days Forever got pushed back, I always suffered like depression for a while, but it kicked in really bad like this past year.
Okay.
Had a lot of things happen, lost a couple loved ones, like been through, you know, some heartbreak shit, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever, you know.
Ain't nothing wrong with being in love, brother,
You know
and sometimes
like,
it don't go right.
Certain things like that, then like putting my trust in certain people in this industry can be wicked. So it's like everything happening at once kind of sent me over the edge, but that project kind of came out of it, so it was kind of cool, but it definitely derailed the project that we was intending to put out.
Derailed it in what way? Like musically? Like,
yeah, musically, I wasn't in that space
to make the sound that it was.
Yeah, to make that sound. And granted, it did force me to shift the way that project was. So basically, the sound that I was originally going for, I didn't want to do that no more. So I ended up changing the entire theme of that project, kept the name the same, but the sound is completely different now. And it has a different meaning now. And I found like the light kind of like figured out exactly the lane I wanted to be in. Probably not for the rest of my career, but for the foreseeable future.
So like, what was the sound originally for that project?
Like turn up, you know, like regular, like, you know, rage shit, but a happier rage, you know what I'm saying? Like a feel good, like turn up type summer project. And then it turned into a romantic tragedy, you know, that feeds off of like traumas that I didn't address from my childhood.
Wow.
So it kind of changed the actual meaning of Good Days Forever.
Okay. So, like from a recording standpoint, right? Because it sounds like, and I think this is true with all artists, but specifically in how you're expressing how you create, like emotion is important, right? Whether
100%.
it's, you know, because like I think sometimes as specifically as black men, since we are black men sitting here, we can have this conversation and not say we in nobody else's business. I think oftentimes like the word emotion has a negative connotation when it's said in black men's space, right? Like the minute we hear emotion, we're like, oh, that mean I'm acting soft, or all those other terms from
I feed into it.
Right. So that's the duality, right? It's like there's nothing wrong with like, cause to me, like passion is an emotion, or excitement is an emotion just as much as like being sad or feeling offended or being envious. Like those are all things.
I hate saying this.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But you know how like people like the zodiac shit, You know what I mean? But I never understood. I'm a Cancer, by the way. I was about to say, oh, that's the emotion coming in because I'm a Cancer. But I completely understand it now. Like 100%. I completely understand that shit. I express emotion 100% no matter what the emotion is.
Gotcha.
I'm in it 100%. Whether I'm happy, I'm 100% happy. When I'm sad, I'm 100% sad. So it's
no gray.
There's no gray. It's just me experiencing. And I realize that I'm like, damn, I experience extreme sorrow and extreme bliss, extreme joy. Like everything is to the knob is turned and broken all the way at 100. It's not going back down.
So from a creative standpoint, right, because that begs the question, like, even based on how you explain the shift in the sonics of the project to come,
right?
How fast does the window for an emotion to be expressed in track form or album form or EP form, how fast is that window open and close for you?
It happens immediately. I have to put it down immediately. So I work best off of voice memos. I have to record. I record a lot of my songs first with no beat. It's all lyrics, and it's normally just me freestyling into a voice memo with no beat at all. It's just pure emotion, pure lyrics, and then I build music around that.
So the beat comes. So you.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I'm trying to question this correctly. So you just have a thought immediately, right? So do you like record whole songs first, or just like a few lyrics?
Sometimes it's whole songs. Sometimes I can be driving and have hook 2 verses in a voice memo. It'll probably be multiple voice memos broken up because obviously it's just spitballing. But off of those 3 to 4 voice memos, it's an entire song.
That's crazy. So just imagine like my man's driving down 295 and he just
screaming in his phone.
Yeah.
Some songs are screaming. Some songs is me singing. Some songs is me rapping. Like, and it's really like bars. It's not mumbling. I'm really having like putting bars together. And
I know that'd be looking wild.
And
like if you just like imagine like if you're in the car next to you. Like,
yeah, no, some people I seen a white woman look at me like that. Crazy. She starts listening to a song. But I used to be ashamed of it, but then I started embracing it. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's going on in here.
And so do you do the production for the most part for yourself?
100%. Like, so I'm a fan of collaboration. So I do have homies that I reach out to after the music is or the idea is hatched out. I'll tell them like, yo, this is what I got. Like, what you think should be added to it. The only producer that I feel like I made shit from scratch with was Ideem. He's out in LA. He's a fucking genius. Never met a motherfucker like him ever. Like, this nigga's fucking crazy.
In a good way, I'm hoping.
In a great way, you know what I mean? Like, the nicest guy, but at the same time, it's like he gets. I don't have to explain shit. He gets what I want. If I say I'm looking for this type of sound, he knows how to create it. If I'm looking for this type of tone, he knows how to create it.
So, as an artist who's also a producer, to make sure I won't call you a producer rapper, but a producer artist, we've seen in history that can also a lot of times trap an artist.
Yeah.
You know, that was a big knock on Cole for a long time. It's been a big knock on Crit for a long time. Is it locks you into specifically you, which isn't the worst thing, but when trying to attain market share, you do need to, you know, kind of stretch yourself a little bit and those things. Have you felt that limit? Like, have you reached that limiter yet, or are you still?
I'm still growing.
Okay.
I haven't really reached that limit.
With the
I don't see limits.
Sorry for the technical difficulties project, right? You even included like sounds that we're used to hearing from like reels and TikToks and what was your plan in doing that?
Spilling the beans a little bit, but nothing that I do musically is just on a whim. Everything is connected. I'll find a way to connect it somehow, even before I do it. Before I release it, it has a plan. Sorry for technical difficulties. Think about technical difficulties, right? It's a television screen, and it's about programming. You know, so we are programmed through society, through social media, through television, through things we digest, to feel a certain type of way, to react to things a certain type of way. And the things that are happening in the world are making, especially the black community, react to certain things. And certain things are just forced down your throat, especially like during the pandemic. You just saw heavy Black Lives Matter, it's like the media had an agenda to say that, but also show it nonstop. And then companies found dollars and behind it, and they started embracing it for the dollar. But it's programming. So sorry for the technical difficulties. You pay attention to the album rollout. Things has static on the television, and everything is like, it feels like a TV show, right? So if you pay attention to Dark Days Reloaded, Dark Days Reloaded is not going to make sense until you hear Good Days Forever. So technical difficulties is going to feel like a break in the action. It's going to feel like a commercial break. When you hear Good Days Forever, it's going to make sense. And then when you see the videos for technical difficulties, it's going to completely make sense, because all of them are focused around programming and the things we're programmed to digest and consume, like No Sense, Darkest Freestyle, how Darkest Freestyle, I have the 2-part and it cuts in half. And it has the second song, like Turn Off the TV, I Can't Take No More. I've already seen this before. Like,
I'm in town in real estate.
Those are all things that me saying, it's like they're feeding us the same thing. We know the way this story ends all the time, and it doesn't end well.
Follow me.
Okay.
So this show here, have you ever seen this?
No.
The Social Dilemma on
We need to
Netflix?
save some clips from this, like, permanently, just for reference.
So when you get a minute,
Okay.
just roll one up and watch this.
Okay.
It explains how social media works on the back end.
Yeah.
And the entire point of it, and what they did were, there were a lot of people who were at the forefront of social media, at the very beginning of Facebook, very beginning of a lot of these social platforms,
Instagram.
and when they started building these algorithms, because they were trying to just be really effective at showing people what they're interested in, and down the line of that, of doing that, and also being a profitable business model, they built a monster that they could no longer control.
Wow.
To the point where a lot of the people who were in those companies have left because of what they realized, what they created. So in my opinion, I think it's a giant mirror to society, really showing them who they truly are. And a lot of people don't like that. And that's why they say, oh, social media is ruining people, whatever else. Now, I do feel they strip down to who we are as psyches and ones and zeros and program these apps for us to stay glued to them. In that regard, yeah. But just it's really good. It's just showing how it works and why we end up staying glued to these apps.
And the interesting part about specifically that, it's really a documentary.
Okay.
But the way they framed it is like there's a family that is being impacted on different levels by social media, right?
Okay.
So there's the mom, there's the dad, there's like a couple of siblings. And you see them throughout the doc as they're explaining like, yo, we programmed it to do this, not knowing it was going to do X. And then you're seeing its impact on this family.
Yeah. It's a direct impact because it's how we consume most of our information.
I promise you, whatever any of the four of us are into, right? Like, cause like my interests are like graphic design and like digital marketing and how to convey a message, and I also like cars and sneakers, all right? But whatever your cocktail of those things are, I bet you there's some booty in there.
No, there's always some. It's always I have a type. It's crazy. I have a crazy type.
You don't even be looking for it.
I don't even be looking for this booty. It just be there.
I want to explore what his type is,
And it be bootying.
too.
Yeah.
You what happened?
I was like, I want to dig into what his type was, because that giggle of it made it sound like it was interesting.
No, it's not just interesting. It's just the fact that Instagram is spot on every time.
No, they're not wrong.
Like-
The women that they put in front of me, I'm like y'all get it.
It's not wrong, bro. And I was like,
Cause
I wish y'all was just there when I was outside trying to
yeah,
like,
I'm
figure out
good. I
what's
found her
going
already.
Fair enough,
but-
right?
like, cause this would have been easy. Like,
Yeah, very easy.
I-
Also, it's exposed me to how much of the women that I find attractive are really goofy.
Yeah.
see, I realized
The baddies be goofy.
Yeah, and it's crazy though. I don't get the Instagram famous ones.
No. I'm not even talking about that.
Yeah.
These joints maybe 20,000 followers. Like they're just
Not even 20,000.
they're just attractive.
Instagram shows me like
the 2 to 4K
1,200,
joints.
800 followers. Like I'll be like, yo, she low key. Like what the fuck?
Nah, she just on the come up. Don't
I
worry.
tell you,
You're an early adopter. That's what that is.
exactly.
That's
no,
what that
I
is.
tell you
He's
what,
an early
bro.
adopter.
Are they from Maryland or are they in other states?
Yo, they be like PG, like.
Oh,
DC,
okay.
like,
Well,
it be send me
that's a
local.
little rare. So
Nah,
okay,
and, like I get a lot of North Carolina for some reason.
boom.
I don't know
Okay,
why.
there we go. There we go. Let's
Cornbread.
that to that point.
bullshit.
I was
I'm not
running
gonna
when
speak
I was
Cali.
running parties
Can't
in
do
college in North Carolina.
Yeah.
There was this girl that like ran the parties. I was capturing the footage for her, bro. I've never seen this woman with another like, cause she was gay. I've never seen with a girl below an 8. And you look at the profiles of these girls, they just like you saying, 800 followers, 1,200. 300 for like, where are you finding these gems of women?
Apparently, she
that
programmed
just
her algorithm.
do not be nowhere online. They don't be online.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's
But
wild,
I be
bro.
reaching out to them.
It was a gift. It was a gift.
only reach out to them to market my music because they be responding too. Like
Because
I
they
be-
ain't
ain't
into
famous,
that.
you know. They be tapping in with me, so I be like, all right, yo, and I'm trying to get them some merch because women, you know, they're gonna really run that shit.
I mean, you could
Right.
literally sell clothes to men with women in all of the marketing, and no one would care.
Yeah,
That's a
It'd
fact.
probably sell faster. I actually was gonna do that for a brand.
yeah. I sell straight to women. Like women wear my clothes, and
You
if
gotta get to Teddy Pendergrass level.
oh yeah,
Teddy P used to throw concerts that he would not sell a ticket to a male.
I'm trying to be like Teddy.
Teddy would have the theater full.
Teddy.
Every seat in the theater is a woman. There's
See.
no men in here.
Can we do that?
See, it's gonna be crazy, right? Because after
I feel like now we'd get canceled for it. It'd be like weird.
Good Days Forever, it may be like that.
Just women only at the shows.
I may be a woman favorite because right now it's like I've been so rage for years, like rage and just like rap for like years, to the point where it's like it's just nigga based. It's like a bunch of men. It's macho as fuck. My music's super macho. It's like, but then it's like I started embracing certain sides of me that I've always been doing, because I was the kid that's from the streets but listen to like rock music and watch the animes and did a
I
bunch
can
of
hear all of that in there.
shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
It sounds like there's like 15 influences in your music.
yeah, it's a lot.
It's
but
not like one way.
I'm well rounded because I was born in California.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I was born in Los Angeles.
It sounds like you've moved around a lot.
Not really.
No? Okay.
I came to DC when I was like 6,
Okay.
and I kind of been there my whole life. Moved to Waldorf for high school, and then after that,
You had a passport for high school.
huh?
You
Yeah.
had a passport for high school. Damn.
I don't really care. It doesn't offend me. Like,
Nah, I like it. Just Waldorf ain't far. I just be like, everything that's down here is up there. So like, why I'm coming down here?
Nah, facts.
That'd be the problem.
It's great. I didn't even live in like Waldorf. It was like Bennsville.
Got you.
Oh, you was deep in there.
It's like by Akakeet.
You went past Waldorf, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's like, well, see me, I'm not past Waldorf because I'm coming from the other side. I'm coming up 210. So I come from Southeast. So we
Gotcha.
just came straight up 210
Got you.
and went up there. Like, so that's how that went. And I just kind of went to, my dad ended up moving to Waldorf when I was like in 8th grade. I got kicked out of 3rd grade Marshall Middle School. And
We
then,
both have been expelled. Tight.
yeah. And then they sent me out to Waldorf for high school. I was like, yeah. But it embraced my music side though.
Really?
Like, yeah, because
Nah, I get it.
I was a part of like go-go bands and like certain things like that, and was able to like express myself like musically. I wasn't in no marching band or anything like that, but I was always like outside in some type of music club, like outside of school. And that kind of like helped me pick up instruments. I went on tour with my dad a bunch of times. And,
That's something I would love to see come back here culturally.
yeah.
Is the way go-go, and it might have been forced to be honest, embrace youth. Just you know what I'm saying, like them 20 bands for $20 shows and shit like
Yeah,
that. Like,
they don't got those no more.
but there's nowhere to be, like the closest thing to be 100 to it is like realistically our Songbird dates are all ages.
Yeah.
And we bring our kids.
Yeah.
Like the niggas that run the show bring our kids. So like Sweezo's got 3, Nature and his girl have 3 between them. My daughter be there. So it's some kids there, like not the way the 20 for 20 was, because that was like high school kids and then up. But just like I think it's important to cultivate the youth in the creative spaces in areas where there's actually money being made. Not like niggas is balling, but like a lot of times the way right now kids are involved in the music industry in this area is like grants and shit that puts them in a room with maybe one person that teaches them how to make a beat or something. Right. And they don't get to see the jobs within the industry, right? Like I had to figure out what a creative director was to figure out that's what I do.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's no one here for me to go and be like, yo, let me be your little bro. Like, let me, you know what I'm saying? Let me get some mentorship from you, because they either have gone the complete corporate creative director route, which is watery to me, or they don't even know what they're doing. Like, not that they don't do the work well, they don't know it's a creative director.
Right.
So for me in this scene, like my whole the reason I even got the creative director was because I was in a group at one point and I was like, yo, I don't want to rap anymore because like there's some infrastructure missing.
Right.
We need to fix shit or I'm gonna always be just rapping to rap.
Right.
So I was like, I'm gonna attack the other side because I have multiple skills. So I started like figuring out the media, and that's how flyers and graphics and all of that like transitioned from me just doing shirts.
Yeah, I handle all that shit for Ranger Gang. Like
exactly. So but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get it. But I kind of took that role because I've tried to start multiple rap groups since I was like 16. Like I'm 27 now.
What was your first rap name?
My first rap name?
Mm-hmm.
It was Young Money.
Oh, it's not that bad.
That's not bad.
It was,
I've heard way worse.
Then but Young Money was also a label, so
I know
it couldn't really work. And then I became Droid. No, I was say I'm not gonna rap. I'm just gonna be behind the scenes producer. Then I was just DJ Droid, and I would DJ and produce, do a bunch of shit like that, and engineer. And then I dropped the DJ shit and got back into rapping because people wasn't really spitting on my beats the way I wanted them to.
That's got to be challenging, bro. Like
that's got to be frustrating.
Because I feel like that's the duality, right? Like
Yeah.
the same way. So when me and Raza put like campaigns and projects together for people, right? Like whatever it is, whether it's an album or small business, whatever, right?
Right.
They usually come to us because they're like, you guys do good work. We want a website. We want photo shoot. We want whatever, right? And then we was creating this thing for people, turning it over, and then watching them drop the ball.
Yeah.
Like just not
All
execute,
your hard work.
right? So then we was like, well, we got to start figuring out the full thing, start to finish.
I don't shoot videos for nobody no more. I did all that shit. I don't shoot videos for nobody. I don't do graphics. Well, I do graphics for my homies, and like if I do commission work, actual for like companies and shit. But other than that, like I ain't in that business no more. Like, cause people would fumble that shit. They don't know marketing. They don't want to put money behind anything. So you giving these motherfuckers great ideas that could have went to you in your personal brand, and they're trashing it. That's just frustrating.
It is, and it take a special motherfucker to like take the shackles off, right? So like when we've run into the rare client that's like, yeah, whatever you say, look, we're just gonna do that. We're like, what?
Yeah, right. I like that.
But it's rare. Like perfect example, Open Gym.
Right.
The reason that I have so much fun with Open Gym is that nigga nature just be like, do you, bro?
See, I fuck with that.
But it's a trust thing too. The trust has to be built. Like I don't want it to sound like that. Like you gotta have a basis for trust with the person to let you do that.
When you allow creatives like the space to actually create, it normally is gonna come out beautiful. Like it's normally gonna come out like probably the best product when you start creating barriers. Cause this is my thing. When people, I tell this all the time. I used to get in fights with management and like different producers and different engineers all the time because they will try to push their vision of me on me instead of listening and helping me create my vision. Like just use your skill set to help enhance my vision instead of skewing my vision to fit the vision that you have for me.
And that, so what I've noticed with that, right, is a lot of times the person that's creating the other shit for you, right, they're married to whatever they created.
Right.
Right. And so what I've learned in my time in this game is don't be married to creative you're making for someone else. I'm only married to my shit. Like if it's for me, then I can be like 100% like this. It has to stay like this. But if a client wants some shit, I'll make whatever that shit is.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? With no emotions attached to it. Now, like for instance, let's say somebody came to us and was like, y'all want a logo. We're going to probably show you 3 different iterations of a logo for that brand, right? However, there's one that we know is the best one, but we'll let you make the wrong decision. Nah, we kind of help them.
Most of the time they do.
It's a guided.
It's a guided process.
They never pick it, bro. That shit be blowing me, bro.
But on that note, I had a meeting with our designer recently that we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Like we know which one we're betting on ourselves, and we're just gonna dig deeper in the concept that we know they should pick. So it's either you're gonna go with what we're telling you the vision should be, or you're going to use what we showed you to explain what you want from us instead.
Right. Yeah, it left a
But
salty
I'm
taste
very
in my
excited for this new process.
Yeah, see, I wish I had
We're
that.
right, and like our clients trust us most of the time. Most of the time,
Generally speaking, we're hired on word of mouth, so it's not like you're coming over here like, oh,
We gotta
we
prove
sold
ourselves.
you, and now, you know what I'm saying? We're not out like ambitiously trying to just bring on new clients. So it's never we're in a position where we're like, well, we told them we could do anything, so now we got like it don't be that.
Right.
They came over here because they like what we do and they seen our work already.
Yeah.
So then it'd be like, well, then trust in what you came over here for.
Okay.
Versus like that constant digging for new clients. Then you're selling somebody who might not be that aware or whatever.
Yeah, I don't even look for clients no more.
Exactly, the word of mouth works.
Yeah, I don't look for. I use my art because most people who follow my career or most people who are like really tapped in know I do everything. So it's like that is literally my business card. Anything that I put out, anything that I release, is what I can do for you.
That's actually a good, like, if you think about, like, just in any aspect of life, like, 9 times out of 10, people who are asking to do stuff for you, like, as far as, like, a business, it's probably not the choice you want to make.
Maybe. I mean, I've definitely been presented business opportunities that were like, I wasn't looking for it. They were selling it, and I was like, you know what? This does work.
That's fair, yeah. It's sometimes like, oh wow, this is the missing piece that I didn't know existed.
Like that's how we ended up.
Like,
with
what do you mean? I didn't follow that shit.
So like, there's been time where we're being solicited, we're being sold to, right?
Right.
And naturally, like bar none, the thing I've done most and most successful in my life is sell shit.
Facts.
So I know when I'm being sold to. Very
Very
he
quickly.
knows.
Like, oh, I know this move. Let's see how
he
this
knows.
goes.
He knows.
All right.
I'll be telling them while it's happening. I'll be like, yo, they're doing this. Right. So, like I've been on so many different levels of selling shit. Like I sold money at one point. Like that was my job. I was a banker. I sold money. I managed banks. All we did was sell money. You want $1.
Banker. You got the banker waves.
I'm gonna sell you $1 for $3.
Yeah, you look.
That's
like,
nuts.
Yeah, you was probably a really good banker though.
I spanked that shit.
See what I'm saying? Like, you got the haircut.
But
you
the
got
creative
waves.
part of me is what made that not work.
See, shit, that it is. That's why I left a lot of that shit alone.
I'm done with corporate America.
Yeah. See, I never got into corporate. I always did like odd jobs.
Yeah.
You know, the most clean cut job probably ever was me being a manager at Domino's.
Okay.
And I even sold drugs out of that shit. So
Goddamn right. You already in the car.
You just put in a pizza box.
yeah.
No.
I was selling weed. I was at Morgan State. It's shut down now, but I was at Morgan State, Northwood Plaza, and I was selling gas and Domino's, and I put it in the Cinnabread box because I was able to give away Cinna sticks for free because it only cost us 45 cents. So that would be the one item I can always give a customer for free if they was complaining about anything.
That's hilarious because I definitely caught from a couple of Domino's boys trapping.
And
that was a PG move for
there
sure.
was an entire rumor at Foot Locker in my region that I was putting dime bags in with the shoes because they couldn't understand. They were just like,
why are you selling these so quickly?
Why is it wherever he goes, the sales go crazy? And they like there was a room that like I had to fight.
It was bag shorty.
I barely was even smoking at the time. Like I smoked a little bit at the time. Like where did y'all get this shit from? But that's when the creative meets corporate and they can't figure out how you're doing things that it wasn't designed to do.
Nah. I just couldn't. I was just tied in with certain people, and I had to like distance myself from a group of people that I've been hanging out with my entire life. And it was kind of bringing me down because I was an impressionable child.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It also makes you cultured. Keep it
Yeah.
lit.
So it's like wherever I'm around, I'm in it. So it's
Submerged.
like me being in certain areas, especially in Southeast, and hanging out with some of the people I grew up with, it's just I was submerged to the point where it's like, shit, nigga, we rocking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how that shit was, and it was leading me down a path that scared my own mother. I have a mother that loved me. I know my father. You know
Me too.
what I'm saying? So it's like, so for me to to do certain things that I grew up doing didn't really make any sense. You feel me?
Yo, how often you been at a table with 4 adult black men that know their mother and father?
Nah, that's weird.
That's
It just hit me. Everybody right here,
That's blessings.
mom and dad. Like my dad had passed in 14.
Sorry
but
to hear that.
appreciate that. But bottom line, like my father was a fixture in my life. We didn't live together most of my life. but
Facts. I didn't live with my dad.
fixture. Every basketball game, he was there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Every karate chop and kung fu kick, he was
Yeah.
there.
My dad wasn't there
forgot
for
he was a
every
kung fu
jump.
fighter.
My dad was an entertainer. So he's always on the road and he was always gone.
Word.
So it's like
Me
to
too.
high
I
school.
was 5.
Yeah. I didn't live with my dad till high school.
I was 7.
I was
Yeah.
5 when my folks split. That's crazy.
But I was John Gas to live with my dad, right? Till I found out this motherfucker be crazy sometimes. Like he a New Yorker, he a Pisces, he jive wild. You know what I'm saying? Like you got a temper. You know what I'm saying?
Before you ever got to Pisces, like you just said he a New Yorker, and then you told me he's a creative. That's enough. I was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, he could pop.
Yeah. You know,
time
he
to
from the
time.
Bronx. You know what I'm saying? It's
And he
like
from the Bronx.
yeah,
He
just
probably thought that.
like clearly disrespecting.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
old school. He real old school with
Yeah.
it.
I think so.
Like I think it would
agree.
just save people from themselves in the future. Like I met a dude. I think I've told y'all this story, but I was in Philly. My car got towed. I go to the tow yard to get my car. The dude at the joint acting wild.
You gotta,
That's crazy.
unless you confident it's the one hit. You gotta,
That's crazy.
Unless you confident it's the one hit.
I never had a chance to hit
I
an
was definitely
open
going
hand
like-
and a backhand in the same jump.
Yeah, it's pop, pop, come back right with
I
it.
never had that
And then
chance.
right as soon as you finish the follow through, come right back. Pow.
I'm a brawler, and I didn't realize I got that from my dad.
Nah, you gotta smack a nigga, Nipsey that nigga.
Nah, I'm a
Save
bro.
your-
I'll punch the shit out of motherfucker.
You wear rings?
Nah, I don't.
Get you a ring and smack a nigga.
Yeah.
Save you a lot of time.
But I realized
Save you a lot of
it's
time.
it's crazy when you move in with. It's crazy like when you don't live with somebody, you move in with your father, and you be like, "Oh, this is where I get it from. This is where I get this shit from." Okay,
This
now I know.
natural thing that I've been doing.
Right.
It's your fault.
It's your fault. Like I have a temper because you have a temper. Like you know what I'm saying. Like, but it's crazy though. My dad's like my superhero, low key.
Yeah.
Like I completely get it. Like musically, man's a genius. Does everything right. You know what I'm saying. He's a Christian man. He's not perfect. He's never judgmental about that. Like he's the one. You know, and I'm not heavy into religion. Like he accepts all that. You know what I mean? It's like he's not a forceful person when it comes to that type of stuff.
Yo, it took me meeting my girl to realize how special the relationship I had with both of my parents is.
Yeah.
Cause your normal is your normal, right? So you don't know what other people's normal is. Like my mother brought me a weed shirt back home from Jamaica. My mom brings me Hennessy White when she goes to Jamaica.
That's hard.
I talk the exact same way I'm talking to y'all. I talk in front of my mother. So if I was like, man, fuck that nigga, did it?
I apologize after the sentence though.
Nah,
It's to me personally.
Nah.
I don't do that. Like, my bad, mama.
I do that for my grandmother.
Yeah, I do that.
My
for
mother, like they both know, like, all right, this is who he is. Cause like, even growing up hooping, right? Like, I remember games in high school that turned into like the playground.
Right.
And these are regulation games. And the playground me comes out when challenged.
Yeah.
And he's different. He's
For basketball.
yeah.
Yeah, I
He's,
play basketball too.
he's different. Like I'm holding your shorts. I'm blowing niggas kisses on the court just to fuck with you. Like whatever's gonna get you off your game, I'm down. Yeah. And it was like my folks disconnected from me being their kid on the court. Like they were just fans. And then after the game, whatever antics I did on the court, they didn't give a fuck about that shit. Move on.
Yeah.
And it just cool.
We gotta start an AAU team.
You said when what?
Nah, you don't want me coaching.
Why not?
Cause I'm gonna get canceled. I'm not built for now.
We'll have my sister will be your assistant.
All right, she could probably help.
I want to
'cause-
coach football eventually.
See, yeah, nah,
Because
football.
I ended up making the transition from basketball to football.
Word.
Yeah, just because I wasn't hitting 6 feet, I realized that.
And see, I wasn't hitting 2-0, so I realized that.
Yeah,
So football was never it for me. Like I was literally, I didn't even hit 6 feet till college.
yeah, I capped out at 5'10", so I was like, all right, that's it.
I hit 6 feet sophomore year of college. My high school coach hates me to this day. He's like, nigga, if you was 6 feet in high school, because we was running around telling people you was 6 feet, you was 5'8". I'm like, I know.
Yeah, I'm probably a little taller than 5'10", but I don't know. It just wasn't. I wasn't hitting 6 feet though.
Yeah, nah. I wanted to be 6'4", and after being a 6 foot man, I realized like clothes get weird after 6 feet.
Oh, for real? See, I realized that, right? Because I never have any problems with clothes.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you what happens, right? So you over 6 feet, you be buying the 2X or the 3X for the length, but the bitch be wide.
Yeah, see?
They really build the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5. All them shits are just wider. They're not longer shirts or
Motherfuckers
they're
don't
not
know
built for height.
5'10" the sweet spot. 5'10", 5'11" is the sweet spot.
5'10", you could get it off.
All the and your shoe size not too long. Not
Yeah,
too,
like
you
I
know
wear a
what I'm saying?
12. My arms damn near hang to my knees.
Now I'm like an 11, so it's like
Shit is crazy.
I'm cool.
And I be having a hard time getting sneakers when I ain't the plug no more. Because it be 112 in the case.
See, I want to make my own shoes.
In the case of
Fuck
12,
that
it'd be
shit.
112.
So you're telling me that like I'm in the sweet spot and I've just been squandering this opportunity?
Nigga, you can wear anything.
Yeah. You, especially suits. If you want to get your suit game up, that
You
shit
could
is
go crazy. All my suits have to be immaculately tailored.
Like the suit
Because
game is crazy.
I'm wild disproportionate. I'm way longer than I am like hefty. And most dudes my height have a little more girth, no homo. And I just can't. The more I eat, all I'll get is a gut. It don't go nowhere else but my stomach.
That's weird. I'm the same way. It doesn't go nowhere else but my stomach.
Yeah, I can't gain
My
weight
stomach
nowhere.
and probably like my shoulders get a little bigger. Other than that, that's it.
The at my heaviest, it was a gut and my face was fat. The rest of me
Yeah,
was the same size.
I hate that shit. But my face go down when I drink water though.
Okay, so to be fair, I got face fat when my baby mother was pregnant
How you do that?
because
Because he was making
You was
donut
pregnant
runs at
too.
2 a.m.
That's when they say we pregnant.
so
You know what I'm saying? That's
no,
that we
wait,
pregnant shit.
You ain't got no kids, do you?
Nah.
All right, so I'm the only one with a kid. Cool. So let me explain what happens. They get hungry, and they know that they wildin'. So they want you to eat with them so they feel better about it.
So you gotta eat the fucking
Nigga, I was eating 2 breakfasts.
pickles and ice cream with a
Just
cheeseburger.
weird shit. Like, because at the time,
Wow.
when my daughter was being cooked, me and my baby mother both worked at the mall. And I ran Foot Action and she ran this boutique called Cachet. So our stores were 2 doors apart.
Okay.
So, I'm selling sneakers. We might got to get up for a fucking 7 a.m. release or some shit. So I might be at the mall early.
Right.
I go get breakfast. She get there at 9:30, 10 o'clock. I'm done with my release. Walk with me to get breakfast. I go with her. What you want? I'm good. Well, just eat some hash browns with me.
The hash browns.
Now the hash brown, I need a half and half now because I got it. I'm eating hash browns. They're a little salty. I need something to drink.
Yo,
And then it just keeps stacking, and you do that for 9 months, and you end up 210,
that's crazy.
and it's all in your face and your gut.
That's crazy.
Use that anymore?
You ever had hash browns with avocado on it? That shit is fire. You should try that shit, man.
I'm down.
Like,
I'm down. I
next
like
time
avocado.
Next time, spread some avocado on that shit. But eat some hash browns.
Avocado
It'll
really
change your
tastes like
life.
anything, for real.
Put a little salt and pepper on that crack.
It's like avocado toast, but hash brown.
Tim don't know about that. That's before your time.
That's what I'm
Before my
saying.
time.
Maybe after you. I don't know.
I was
Somebody's
gonna
time.
say, avocados. That became the thing like 4 or 5 years ago. So
Yo,
No,
the fact that
well,
like
I'm
I grew up
Caribbean.
and never knew what an avocado
I'm
was.
Caribbean,
and
so
now they're like
avocado
the-
has always been a thing for me.
Gotcha.
I've always known what avocados were.
Really?
Like my entire life, I've known what avocados are.
I
never
heard
forget-
about avocado post college.
I'll never forget the first time.
Swear to God.
Like I chew on sugar cane.
I didn't even know guacamole existed till like post college.
Yeah.
Like I was a salsa nigga. Like I'm a nigga. Like,
You said
go to Taco
salsa.
Bell. Like
It was a sauce.
the last thing on my mind was a guacamole. What? What is that? No. I don't remember seeing that word till Chipotle.
Hell no.
You ran into guac at Chipotle.
Maybe. I love guac and I love avocado. Don't give me no avocado ice cream though. That's weird.
No, I'll never do that.
Yeah, no. So, you want a cup, brother? With that being said, look, I want to know, like, when the good days are coming.
Yeah,
I think people want to know.
Yeah, good days is on the way, man.
Like this year on the way?
Nah. Fuck that.
Not a fourth quarter.
Fuck that. It's gonna be festival season. Like
no. So okay.
Like so there's a method to that. I worked it out. Like shout out to Good Faith. Me and Good Faith have been going hard on the shows. Like probably like 2 shows a week for the past like 2 months.
Y'all have.
Like
that's how I met you at the joint when I wanted you to jump on that Christmas tree.
Yeah.
This nigga climbed like a 12-foot ladder and was going crazy from the time. I'm like, bro, jump on the tree.
Listen, I was
if it goes down, it goes down. Fuck it. Like,
I was told by like David Mantell. Shout out to David Mantell. He's my manager. He always told me, he was like, yo, it's his job to bring the spotlight to me, but it's my job to keep it there. So every time
he needs an airdrop.
Like every time I perform or anytime I'm in front of a microphone or anything that I do, I have to make it a moment. You know what I mean? It's like, because if I don't, it's wasted. You know, and each time you do it, it just keeps the spotlight there every time. And he's like, that's the key to making it in this industry. It's like, it's not about getting the hit or getting, it's like, how long is that spotlight staying on you? Because everybody can get the spotlight on them for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15. But if you got that spotlight on you and it just stays on you, eventually the world's going to know who you are. Because the spotlight is there all the time. You're making yourself the center of attention every single time. That's how you get on.
So let me ask you this, and I'm sure y'all have had this conversation, but like, what is your thought process around the rollout post versus post release?
All right, so it depends on the project, like, and it depends on like the objective. Like for example, sorry for the technical difficulties project. Right. That rollout was a little different because people were expecting Good Days Forever. So when I started promoting Sorry for the Technical Difficulties, I literally promoted the actual technical difficulties of the project, and that helped tell the story of the project and get people to want to listen to it. You got to understand the objective of every project. So Good Days Forever's rollout is going to be completely different.
Okay.
Like, it's going to be more, I don't know, more strategic. I don't know. I haven't even gave it too much thought, but post rollout, I'm not going to sit in here and say like I have all the answers, but you kind of have to find a trend and ride that trend. Because sometimes you may have a plan to do a certain thing, and then there's a song on that project that you didn't expect to bang, and that shit is banging.
Yeah.
And you got to roll with that one.
That's what me and Los are going through right now, trying to figure out the post-release situation.
Yeah.
And it's a
thing.
It's a different type of struggle.
Yeah.
Because songs that you expected, like you said, songs you expected to go up, they go up, but more people are like, when they get feedback, like, yo, this one's way better. So now you have to change everything.
Your whole game.
So here's a I don't know if y'all listen to any of the music from the last project.
Sorry for the
technical difficulties.
Yeah, I did.
All right, so I'm not gonna tell you what song I thought banged. What song do you think is the
Let me look at the track.
Is the actual
is the one that's like, oh yeah, that's the banger.
So for like the first few times I listened to a project, I don't remember names. I just remember where they were at in the.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So that means you just listen to it and just let it play.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard.
So I know where.
Yeah, once I press play, I'm in for the ride at least
thing.
once.
That's hard. I like.
That's how I listen to a project. Yeah.
So I make music for y'all type of niggas.
Cause I'm bad with track names.
I don't make lists for motherfuckers who like skip.
I
make music for people who